The Opposition Leader Sussan Ley is finished. Whether the end comes this week or in a few weeks' time, she can't stay on. This morning's news poll put paid to that. Now, sure, the poll was taken before Ley and Nationals leader David Littleproud put their on-again, off-again coalition back together again yesterday. But that circus probably would have only made it worse by reminding voters about the soap opera that's going on. That's presuming, of course, it could get any worse. In the latest news poll, which has long been regarded as the most reliable of the public opinion polls, the coalition parties have recorded their lowest primary vote ever, just 18% between them. And this while One Nation surges to 27%. The once great Liberal Party attracting support from fewer than 1 in 6 voters. The coalition parties together winning over fewer than 1 in 5 voters, and One Nation getting the tick from more than a quarter of voters sampled. On these numbers, even though Labor is travelling badly, they'd win even more seats if there was an election held now.
This is disastrous for the Liberal Party. It's disastrous for the coalition. Unless something changes, we will be wiped out. I've been looking at the numbers, just running a ruler over the pendulum. And I don't think that at this point there will be a single member of the House of Representatives from Victoria. There won't be a single member of the House of Representatives from New South Wales. Something has to give. We had our lowest primary vote ever at the last election, and it's now nearly halved. So something has to change, and it has to change quickly.
Something has to change, all right, and there's a lot more going wrong here than just the leadership, for sure. But the starting point has to be the performance of the leader.
The proper place to have that discussion is inside the party room. In public, we must present a credible alternative to the Australian people. When people see disunity and when they see politicians talking about themselves in Canberra instead of talking about the real needs of struggling Australians, they mark us down.
Is your job safe?
Yes, it is.
Are you expecting a spill?
No.
Well, I guess she has to say that, doesn't she, right up until she gets the knock on the door. And that could come later this week, with former Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor expected to challenge. Senator Jane Hume was asked this morning when she said, as you just saw, that something had to give. Well, she was asked exactly what that might mean.
It's a question for our leaders of the Liberal Party, who have seen their primary vote fall to 15%, and our leaders of the National Party, who, despite an awful lot of posturing, has a primary vote of 3%. That is entirely unsustainable. No wonder my colleagues are going back to their electorates and saying this is embarrassing. We've been working on gallows humour and optimism, but that's not good enough. Something more has to give.
It sure does. Think about that. Think about the MPs going back to their electorates and being embarrassed to identify themselves as coalition MPs. Now, one part of the puzzle has to be a leadership ticket. Who might slot into the deputy's job if Taylor were to take over as leader? And one unusual but plausible pairing that's being put around in the Liberal Party is Senator Hume herself stepping up to be deputy leader. Deputies are usually from the House of Reps rather than from the Senate. But if the Liberals could tolerate a deputy from the Senate, then this pairing does make a lot of sense. Taylor is a Conservative, Hume is a moderate, so you've got the whole party covered there. Taylor's from New South Wales and Hume is from Victoria, the two most populous states covered. And Hume, of course, is a woman, if I could be so binary. Ted O'Brien could stay on as deputy, but a bit of gender balance in the leadership team will be an important consideration, a big part of the puzzle for many. We will see. But the coalition, of course, needs much more than an orderly change at the top. It needs stronger policies, stronger arguments, better organisation and, in the medium term, an infusion of talent too.